G'day guys, before we hop into today's vlog, I just want to remind you to hit that subscribe button. From now on, I'm going to be putting out Day-Leigh vlogs every single day. I'm going to be tracking my process, playing these 1-2-6 max games, hopefully moving up in stakes. But even if I don't, you'll get to watch me fall on my face every single day on this YouTube channel. So make sure you hit subscribe so you get the new videos as they come out every single day. For now, onto the vlog. G'day everyone, welcome back to the vlog. It is currently about 7 AM here in Melbourne. I'm hungry, I'm cold, but I'm excited to get back into playing some poker today. Gonna play 1,500 hands of 1-2-6 max. Ended up taking all of yesterday off, not only vlogging, but also playing poker. Didn't play a single-handed poker yesterday, which I know, it's odd for me to never play poker. But I really do want to start taking Wednesdays as my day off, just to give me a bit of a rest from poker and vlogging. So it's sort of going to be my midweek weekend, if you will. I'm still on the diet currently, the low calorie diet. I have lost 2 kilos, which is good. I'm very happy about that, but I do think the lack of food is starting to seriously affect my energy levels. I've been sleeping in a lot more than I typically would when I was eating just whatever. So I think I'm going to start mixing in a few more calories into my diet. Not going to go high carb or anything like that, but probably just mix in some more meat, maybe a bit of peanut butter, just so I have a bit of extra fat and just some calories for my body to run off, because I really do want to be at my A game for as long as I can, and I need energy to burn so I can play my A game. So gonna probably eat a bit more today than I have been since I started the diet. So with that in mind, I'm gonna go cook some brekkie, but then I'll get into the poker. Let's go. So it's about 8:15 at the moment, got a full feed in. Actually probably went a bit too heavy on the calories. I did add extra olive oil and I had a side of hummus as well. I think I've gone a bit too far with adding in the extra calories, but I won't worry about it too much because I did want to get in extra calories and I should be full of energy for the first session of today, which I'm about to hop into. In order to make sure I play my A grade for today, I'm going to focus on what my opponents are doing and just use some self-talk, just sort of ask myself logical questions like, what part of my range am I in? Is this board good for my opponent's range or my range, etc. Just be talking to myself using logical questions like those to make sure I do play my A game. In addition, still going to be mixing in those 4-bet bluffs until I see someone get queens in. I'll tell you guys as soon as we do see someone get queens in, but I'm holding my breath waiting. Still, it hasn't happened. The past 3 sessions, I've been 4-bet bluffing like crazy. No one's got it in with queens, so I don't know what to tell you guys. So, gonna hop in and play the session now. Let's go. Welcome back everyone. It is currently about 4:20 dude, and I've just wrapped up my second online poker session for the day. Ended up playing a total of 6 hours and 16 minutes today for a grand total of 1,556 hands. So yet again, we do beat the 1,500 hand goal. Obviously pretty stoked about that. There's something else I'm pretty stoked about this session in particular, and that's the results, because I did end up winning 1,665 over the course of today's session, which is by far the biggest score I've had since starting the Day-Leigh vlogs. There is a reason why the results are so large today. Well, first and foremost, I ran like really good over the course of the session. I think that goes without saying. But additionally, I did actually play a single table of 2-5 this session. I said in my last vlog that I was feeling ready, like I wanted to move up soon. And today I just thought, why not just like, I don't have to necessarily open up 4 tables of 2-5 all at once and just like dive straight in, but maybe I can just play 1 table, get my toes a bit wet, see how I handle it. And
I ran really good in the game, as you can tell by these results. So obviously when you do run good in a 2-5 game, results over $1,000 are going to be more common than if you run good in a 1-2 game. So that definitely explains why the results are so large. But regardless, obviously stoked about running good when I finally do decide to take a mini shot at the 2-5. Which brings us to my favourite part of the vlog, the gameplay grade. And for today's sessions, I'm going to give myself an A. Despite running really, really well and having good results as a result of the run good, I am actually super stoked with my quality of play during the session. I don't think I made any mistakes that were hugely costly. Obviously I made a few mistakes, but like it's probably in spots where it's like marginally close either way. And I think I was able to do that because I was really keyed in and focused on what I was doing. I think eating those extra calories with the hummus and the olive oil in the morning, I think that really actually helps me have more energy and more focus throughout the session. Because you think about it, you know, you get more calories in your body, your body's got more stuff to burn on things like logical thinking, and that stuff takes energy and you need to eat to do it to the best of your ability. So I actually think there is a bit of a correlation there. I think there's also another reason I was actually particularly so focused during this session. It was the first time I've played 2-5 online, and I was a bit nervous with so much money in front of me for an online game to begin with. So I was definitely more keyed in and really wanted to make sure I didn't make too many mistakes with that much money in front of me. That sort of level of awareness will wear off the more and more comfortable I get playing 2-5. But if I could play that way every single day, I think I would be very successful at not just the 2-5 level, but the 1-2 level as well. So pretty happy, as you can tell. Give myself an A for today's session. Oh, and before we get into today's hand history, I did run a 4-bet bluff that got called off by pocket queens. Yes, these people are probably starting to catch on to the fact that I'm going crazy with these 4-bet bluffs. So I might take my foot off the pedal a little bit, maybe back off a little though. So obviously I did run really good over the course of today's sessions. Having said that though, I think in the process of running good, I did make the most of it and did maximize value in certain spots, like this following hand. Let's get into it. The action folds to me in the small blind. I have Queen 10 offsuit. I go ahead and raise it up to 6, and then an unknown big blind calls. So we heads up to a flop of Queen Jack 8 with 2 hearts. The action's on me here, and I think I have a pretty interesting decision with whether I want to c-bet or check it. The reasons I would like c-betting are pretty obvious, to go get some value. But I do think it's a good idea to be checking with some of the queens in your range here, just so you do have some easy check call hands. Queen 10 might be one of the hands you choose to do it with. I think I prefer Queen 10 as a bet, just because it is one of the stronger queens in my range if I'm opening all the, like Queen 2 suited type hands from the small blind. So I think it's one of the stronger queens, and I like to bet it for that reason. So I go ahead and make it 10, and then the big blind calls. So we are still heads up to a turn. The turn is the King of Diamonds. The action's on me, and I actually decide to check my Queen 10 here. And I really like this decision. I don't think if I do bet here that my opponent's really going to call with a worse hand that often. There are a few combinations that we might potentially call, but a lot of them are going to be scared off on this turn in particular. Obviously, they could be concerned I have a king, or I have 2 pair. I can even have a straight the way the hand played out. So I just decide to go ahead and check it. And then my opponent goes ahead and bets 19. When the action's back on me, I do think there is some merit to just folding on this street. I said I had all the 2 pairs in my range. My opponent has a bunch of 2 pairs as well. Obviously King Queen, King Jack, King 8 suited even, stuff like that they can definitely have in their range here. They could have slow played a straight on the flop, although I think they might raise that pretty often when there is a flush draw. And having said that though, I actually do like calling with Queen 10 here, because we do block a slow played straight from the opponent. Also, we do block a lot of the 2 pairs, having a queen ourselves. And additionally, we don't have a heart in our hand, which means it's more likely our opponent's betting with a heart draw. And 3, it is one of the stronger hands in my range. When I do take this line of bet flop, check turn, a lot of the hands I have here are probably just going to want to check fold on the turn. Queen 10 is actually one of the stronger hands, so I decided to call for that reason. I throw in the call, and then we are still heads up to a river. And it's a banger. It is the 9 of spades. I go ahead and hit my gut shot straight on the river. Told you guys I was running good in today's session. Having said that though, now it's time to decide, how do we get the most value with our straight here? And the initial thought that pops in my head is, I should probably lead, just because if my opponent does have one of those 2 pair combinations I talked about on the turn, I don't think they're going to go ahead and bet those on this river, so I should lead out to just try and get value from those hands. But I think about it a bit deeper, and I don't actually necessarily know that that is true. I don't know this opponent. They might go for thin value with 2 pair in a spot like this. And additionally, I actually really like checking in this spot. And here's the reason why. If I check, I actually think my opponent is pretty likely to bluff on this river, just because, obviously this river is going to be a scare card for any of the 2 pairs in my opponent's range, but it's going to be a scare card for any of the 2 pairs in my range as well. And it's going to be a massive scare card for any of the 1 pair hands in my range. So even if he does have a hand like a missed flush draw, I think he might actually bluff with it, just because this is such a good river for him to try and represent a straight or a thin value bet. So for that reason, I actually decide to go ahead and check my straight here. Then my opponent does go ahead and bet 52. Obviously I'm loving life here. When the action's back on me, I actually think I have another pretty interesting decision, whether I do want to check raise for value or whether I want to just call. And the reason I would like check raising, if my opponent is going for thin value with one of those 2 pair, obviously I can try and get value from those, but I actually decide to call. And I actually really like this play as well, just because if my opponent did go for thin value with one of those 2 pairs, they're not calling a raise. And additionally, if I do check raise and I don't think I'm going to get called by a worse hand, I'm actually sort of just negative free rolling myself when my opponent does randomly have ace 10 and I do get stacked. So I think check calling is the right play here. I decide to check call, and then my opponent shows 6-5 of hearts. So, obviously running hot that I hit my straight on the river, but the fact I made the read that checking would actually get me more value because it does keep his bluffs in his range, it worked out this one time. So obviously super stoked with how I played that hand, and obviously did contribute to the win from today's session. So obviously that one did work out for me pretty well, and I say I like how I played it, but maybe I'm being a bit results oriented. Hop down in the comments below and let me know how you feel about the river play. Do you prefer leading on the river, or do you like the checking to induce a bluff? Hop down in the comments below, let me know what you think. Super curious to hear what you guys think about this one. Obviously, I'm saying I really liked my line, but I did win a bunch of money playing my line, so obviously I'm going to be a little bit biased. So hop down in the comments below, let me know what you think. That's going to wrap up the vlog for today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It helps the channel grow so much. I'm bringing out the Day-Leigh vlogs 6 days a week, so make sure you hit the subscribe so you get them as they come out. For now, I'm out of here. Peace.